So, in the last episode, we talked about I Know What You Like by 50 Cent. Definitely a series of events around that story. But throughout my career, I had the honor of working with legendary artists who are no longer with us today. Icons like Big L, Old Dirty Bastard, Prodigy of Mobb Deep, of course the unforgettable DMX.
I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this.
Now, this story takes place in 1997. This is at the height of New York's hip-hop scene when Bad Boy and Biggie was dominating the airways. Now, around this time, Cam and I were signed to Entertainment Records. Cam had a record deal, and myself had an exclusive production contract to produce the label's artists. Now, interestingly enough, though, many of the tracks that ended up on Cameron's debut album, Confessions of Fire, are already in the works before we actually signed. You know, Cam and I, we dreamed about breaking into the industry since we were young kids, about 7, 8 years old. So when we first when our opportunity arrived, you know, we wanted everybody to hear our music. And if you want to check it out, go Google Children of the Corn to get a taste of our earlier days. Anyway, when Mace, another member of our group, the Children of the Corn, he signed with Bad Boy, and the industry was trending towards sampling popular 80s hits and pop hits at the time, which was something that me and Cam wasn't feeling. We wanted that raw, uncut hip hop. So we arrived to the studio every single day to try to convince not to start doing the commercialized radio stuff. So one day, DNY from Rough Riders visited the studio and they played us some unreleased DMX tracks, all gritty street anthems, which one would end up becoming the Rough Riders anthem. That only fueled our frustrations. Finally, gave in and decided to press up some of the tracks that we wanted. One was on side A, which was 357, and on side B was Pull It. And since these wasn't official releases, the promo copies didn't even have Cam's name on it. But when those songs hit the streets, those songs turned into what New York calls tunnel bangers.
Okay, I found some Cameron records, right? It was Cameron featuring DMX called Pull It. Now, this record had a lot to do with DMX's success and Cameron's.
I remember that there was a sample that everybody was using at the time. All the rappers was freestyling to it on mixtapes as well. It was by Love Unlimited, and the name of the song was Under the Influence of Love. Big Pun and Buck Wild went on to use it on Dream Shadow, but I wanted to make something with that same type of energy.
I'm carving my initials on your forehead, so every night before bed you see the BP shut off the port head.
I landed on this sample by the main ingredient called Instant Love. As soon as the song starts, you get the feeling instantly, no pun intended. With this one, it wasn't about manipulating the sample, it was about enhancing it. I tried to follow the drum pattern that was already in the sample. The challenge was finding the right drum sounds that would match the sample. I figured out I could work smarter and not harder. I ended up using the same snare that was from the same sample. That led me in the right direction. This one only took about 10 minutes to put together. I added the kick, the hi-hats, etc. And then I had to add the special sauce, which was some type of change-up. I just played around with the hit of the sample until I landed on a big build-up. Then I added my signature scream to really put an impact on the transition going back to the main pattern. After that, it was all in the mix by Rich Travelli.
But I know what, your buddy in Ohio stock, body right beside the block.
Screaming, I'm screaming, but they're screaming ice cream. They should have fucking known there was no such thing as a nice
Hey yo, look, dogs, don't play with me. I'll beat your ass from A to Z. Back you up like A&P, DMX, KFC.
Now, I know you're going to dig this. Back in the 90s, there were 2 Hit Factory studios operating in New York City. We recorded this track at the original Hit Factory, which was on 54th Street between 7th and 8th. Now, at the time, Cameron and DMX was 2 of the hottest up-and-coming artists. So this collaboration was a no-brainer, getting these 2 MCs together. I knew this track was going to be fire. It was actually Un's idea to have Cam and X going bar for bar trading lines. We already had a solid relationship with X, and we knew he was a wild boy, but nothing would prepare us for the session we was going to have that day. So Cam and I show up early to the studio. I put the beat on loop. Cam is vibing, smoking, etc. He's in his zone. Hours later, DMX burst through the control room door, grinning, and he's ready to go, but he wasn't alone. His hyper pit bull was with him, full of energy, not even on a leash, just roaming around the control room. Cam and I were definitely on edge the entire time, but we ain't say nothing to X. So the version that you hear today was actually recorded under serious duress. Kim and X wrote most of it right there, at the mixing console with the dog circling aggressively the entire time. And if you listen closely, you can hear the dog barking faintly in the background, which created an extra layer, I must say so myself. So as to why the song didn't appear on Confessions of Fire, it came down to one simple reason: sample clearance. Fortunately, it was finally cleared years later. Yo, so that concludes this week's episode of I Know You're Gonna Dig This. But be sure to check out next week's episode where we discuss some interesting stories behind some of my favorite productions. Peace.